Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Capital A Trading and welcome to my Forex Weekly. So again, it's just that video where I'm bringing you the best opportunities for the week, showing you what you can do, how to capitalize on the opportunity, and hopefully you'll see some profits. A quick shout out to the Absolutely magazine. Thanks for everything. Again, it's available now in all Waitrose and M&S stores. Go check it out now. Today, we've got a special guest with me. He's going to be bringing you his insights on the chart towards the end of the video. His name's Joe. He's one of my students. He's been producing some brilliant results lately, and I thought he deserves this opportunity to, of course, showcase his skills. So again, guys, make sure you check that out. And of course, if you trade, if you take investments yourself, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Believe me, there's some exciting things coming here in the next month. With that being said, let's get straight into the fundamentals and check out what we've got for the week. Hey guys, so as always, the most important thing to do at the start of the week is check your fundamentals. As we learned last week with that US dollar interest rate decision, it really fueled the trades that we was behind, and of course the Swiss franc and the yen as well. So this week, I just want to explain what I can see, what I believe will be worth looking at, where you might see some impact in the charts. The first up will be Monday, President Lagarde's speech for the euro. So whenever this woman talks, the euro tends to have a bit of movement. Sometimes it can be stronger, sometimes it does get weaker. So just keep an eye on that. Now, I find the times interesting. Half of 1:30, obviously half an hour after the New York session opens, 3 o'clock, an hour before the London session closes. I'm pretty sure there's a reason that this speech is happening around them times. So again, just keep an eye on that. Tuesday, this isn't really going to mean much to me. We'll look at this Fed Chair Powell testify. I don't know what he's testifying about, but it's around 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Again, I'm not expecting much there, but it might be worth looking at. Wednesday, again, not too much. There's the Lagarde speech. Again, she's speaking around 7 o'clock. That will be the main thing for me. There might be something on the yen here, the monetary policy. Again, I'm not expecting too much there. Again, don't expect it to move. Thursday now. This is where the explosiveness should come. This is what we're going to be mainly looking out for. And of course, as you can see now, it's going to be in the pound. So the main interest for this week will be in the pound. We've got the interest rate decision at midday on Thursday. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. That will be one of the main focuses for the week. I've seen a new thing here for the US dollar. I'm not sure what it's going to do. It's a weird timing. They're doing it on Thursday at 9:30 in the evening. So obviously half an hour after the New York session has closed. It's a bank stress test. Let's see what that's going to do. I'm not sure what it will have any effect on the market. Friday, again, there's a European Council meeting, but other than that, the main focus is going to be that pound interest rate decision. So again, make sure you check out what we're about to mention with the pound. Try and synchronize it with Thursday. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the impact of volatility that we want on that day, on that time. So again, there's a power in understanding what time the trade may take off. So again, let's get straight into the charts. Okay, guys. So as always, I'm going to start with the gold pairs, gold USD and gold euro. I wanted to mention that sell move that I've been looking at for a few weeks now. And of course, we're now starting to see the move down. What has affected that is the interest rate decision with the US dollar. So as you can see, the dollar's battered gold in the past week, and we've had a monstrous move to the downside. So just looking at it now, I don't believe it's going to stop. I wanted to mention that I was looking at a buy around this area. That trade failed. Okay, so it's not always glory, but I don't believe the energy of this is going to run out anytime soon. So what I'm looking at is price coming a lot lower, maybe to the 1700 mark. That's a long way away from where it is now. So if I just come down to a 4 hour, I'm just looking at the way we've had the movements down. We've had the small little bullish pushes, and then we've got the bigger bearish movements. So what I'm looking at is, of course, this is where the interest rate decision was done last week, where we've obviously know for a fact that the market makers have manipulated this area. So pretty simple. I want to see gold push back up, start the week strong, and then later on in the week, obviously, as we know, the dollar likes to get strong towards the latter part of the week. I'll be looking at a sell around the 1850, 1860 mark here, just by understanding that I know the market makers are there. It may not come to that level, and it may stop at this one here. I believe there's something that they've placed here. So I'll be looking at both, just keeping an open mind, but I'm going to stick with the sell side of the market. I don't believe the buy will be worth enough to obviously make a new high. Again, very similar on the gold euro. I'm looking at the same thing. I still believe it's got lots of room to come lower. Of course, you then get to see where that big news in the week was. It's showing us a clue. It's obviously showing us the market makers were somewhere in this area. And I'll just be looking at a sell around the 1530 mark. Again, very similar to the gold USD. There's something here as well. So 1510. Just seeing which option is going to be the best? What piece of price action is going to look best? Am I going to get a rejection in one of them areas? And then obviously we'll get the sell entry. So again, keep an eye on them. That's the gold euro and the gold USD. Okay, guys, next up is the US 30. I'm not going to spend too long on this one. As you may have seen my US 30 case study video, this has been a very successful trade. Now, again, what I want to mention is I'm looking at this area down here. I believe this is where price is going to come to and have some sort of little reaction. And it's around the 32,800, 32,400. So keep an eye on this piece of price action. Expect to push from here. If that comes, I do believe we're actually going to come a lot lower, but before we have a little retest up. So again, what I'm looking at is the area where that interest rate decision came in and kind of fueled everything. And it's around about this area where I believe a lot of buyers were also placing money here. So there's going to be people that are trapped in the market. There's going to be a whole lot of attention around this area. So again, it will be looking at the buy push that comes a bit lower, pushes up towards, let's say, the 33,800, the 3400 mark to be precise. And then that's where I believe we may get another sell from, possibly off of this wiki candle. And as you can see, the success we've had from the wiki candles up there. Let's see if it's going to retest off of that one. So that's the US 30. Keep an eye on that. Okay, guys, next up is the UK 100. I'll be honest, I'm getting sick and tired of talking about this one because I've been following it for so long. However, the nature of what I've seen this week looks very good. Let me explain. Weekly time frame, I'm looking to see a sell on the UK 100 around the 7,200, 7,400 mark. As you can see, there's a piece of price action there that I'm interested in. I then come down to a daily. You can obviously see that we've started to get a good move to the downside off of this area. However, this week, what I'm just looking at quickly is I want to see price play off of this little candle here, the wick, the long sticky one, push back up into my area. And that's where we're going to execute the sell and hopefully be the longer term, the bigger push to the downside. What I wanted to explain on the 4 hour is just what I've seen with this nature here, the way these candles have been reaching up, rejecting the area, reaching up, rejecting the area. It's showing me that whatever I believe is up there is up there. So what I will be looking at is, of course, what I just said, but just pay attention to this candle as well on the 4 hour, the base of it. Again, it's not so far from the 7,200 mark. So let's call it 7,100 to 7,400. Somewhere in there, I believe we're going to get the perfect entry for a sell. And it could be a very long-term move. So again, keep an eye on that. That's the UK 100. Remember, we've got the pound interest rate decision. That may influence this. Keep an eye on that. Hey guys, so for those of you that follow me, you'll know this is my baby, the euro pound. And of course, we've got that interest rate decision. So let's see what we can catch with a move. I still believe we're coming lower. We may play off of this area here around the 85 level. It may even go through that. That would be obviously good if we're looking to back the pound this week. So that's the target. That's what I'm aiming for. Now it's about getting in and entering. So just looking at the price action, again, we've had these lovely moves. You can see the market makers. It's very similar to that US 30 move that I was talking about. You can see these candles where they're tapping back into areas and going. So this is going to be a candle that will be watched. As you can see, the move does look like it's already started. So I guess you could say for the start of the week, what I'm going to be mentioning is I want to see the euro push up. I do want to see this come a bit higher so I can get a better entry, as it does look like the bus is moving. So I will be monitoring this candle here, obviously around the 86 level. It could play off of this one. Maybe let's say 86,300, 86,400. So there is a 40 pip space where I'm looking to catch a sell from. Keep an eye on that. That's the euro pound. And of course, Thursday interest rate decision. If it's leading up, if price is still just hanging around this area, we're going to feel a lot more confident about our trade. That's the euro pound. So then we move on to the pound USD. I was looking at a buy area around here last week. As you can see, the interest rate decision obliterated it. So just looking at this now, I do believe it's the pound's turn to have a stronger week. If you look at the daily time frame, I'm going to be paying attention to the 137 level. I want to see what price is going to do off of this candle here. As I can see already, there's been some sort of interaction in that area. So the key number is 137. However, just be aware, remember, the dollar has had a lot of money pumped behind it this week, and it tends to last longer than a week. So I'm expecting the monster to still be behind the dollar, and I will be aware of that. But I am going to be looking for these moves inside all of that. That's the pound USD. Now the euro USD, as you can see, I had a sell area. I've been mentioning this for ages, around that 123 level, 122,700. It's now, as you can see, weeks later, this is where you'd see your big profits on a trade. And again, very similar to the pound USD. I'm looking to see this just come a little bit lower, and I'm looking to see what's going to happen around the 117,500 level for a potential buy. Now, remember, with this one, we've got that woman, the President Lagarde speech for the euro. So again, maybe she's going to say something that fuels the euro strength. So keep an eye on that. It's the Euro USD. Okay, guys. So next up is the Euro NZD. Now you will hear me mention it's time to not get so naive in this trade. So what I did say last week, and you can check it out on the Sunday video that was released, I was mentioning a buy around the 169 level to go and take this area out. What I was saying is that there's a lot of money building up above these areas. So when the trades drop, a lot of traders that have got on the sell side, they place their stop loss above the high. Okay. So there's lots of money. I want you to imagine there's lots of money building up above here. So what I did was analyze the market. I could see an area, a position where price may play from. It did. It came off the 169 level and shot up. So what I'm looking at for this week is just a little retest back towards the area. It can come towards the 170 level. There is something here over these two black candles. However, what I'm going to be paying main attention for is the 169,500 level. I believe price is going to interact with where it shot from, where we've obviously know the market makers have pushed the market up from here, looking at a retest back down to there, and then obviously to higher targets. That's the Euro NZD. If I then just move to the pound NZD, of course, we've got that interest rate decision. We've actually got a very good setup lining up here. And I did mention last week around the 197 level that there's going to be a buy like the Euro NZD to go take out all that liquidity up there. And it has. So what we're looking at now is we know the market makers were there. We're looking at price to just retest back towards the 197,500 mark. And of course, if it's happening around Thursday, just before the interest rate decision, we're going to feel a lot more confident in placing that trade with a lot size that may be a bit bigger than usual. So keep an eye on that. It's going to be one of the main focuses this week as the pound NZD. Okay, guys, pound Swiss franc. One of the main focuses last week, of course, we had that Swiss franc interest rate decision, and you had to be patient. You started to see the profits on Friday, and of course, you can actually see the market makers if you understand. My students would understand how the wicks are slapping that area. It just gave me that extra bit of confidence. So I was mentioning around the 127,700 area. Of course, it did eventually come and play off the 128. I've actually got two positions still holding on this. Of course, my Hawaiian friend also has a position on this. Shout out to you, Jim. I do believe this is going to come a little bit lower when we get the market open, obviously Sunday night. And of course, remember, we're looking to see some strength in the pound this week. So I'm just going to be monitoring around the 126,400. I want to see what's going to happen there. If it's there, Wednesday night, I may take a position. And then, of course, Thursday morning, we may get the fuel that adds to it. So that's the pound Swiss franc. However, I've got a better move here on the euro Swiss franc, and it's just this daily picture. So what I want to show to you is I still believe price is going to come lower. It's going to come below this 10800 level. And if you just look at the daily, it looks like it's pulled back up to an area where we can then get a continuation of this this bus ride here. So just the 4-hour time frame, I've liked the way it started to reject. It's been here for about 16 hours now. I'm just going to be looking at the 109,800 to the 11 level. Okay, so that's the key number. That's where we can obviously see there's been something happen around there. And I just want to see if price is going to push up to that, and then we get the sell. So different things. Obviously, I'm looking to see the pound strength. And of course, I'm looking to still see the Swiss franc dominate the euro. So keep an eye on them. There should be some good moves. Okay, guys, so next up, pound CAD. Those of you who follow me, you'll know I've been hunting this one down for ages now. And I just want to kind of show you what the move is going to possibly do. So this is the candle we're looking at. This is the area. I just want to bring it to the 172,500. If I just come down to a 4-hour, you can see it a bit clearer. The 172,500. So just off of this level over here, we're going to look to see price finally have the big push to the downside. And of course, there'll be at least, you know, a 200 pip move there if it comes to the 17, where I believe it will come to. The best entry for me, just looking at this now, if you just zoom in onto this area over here, is the 173 level. It looks clearly like something's been manipulated there. Price shot away from it, stalled for a bit, and then continued making a monstrous move to the downside. And it's just kind of walked back up towards over this whole period. It's been here for months now. So just looking to see when this big term, long-term move could possibly happen. And of course, there's some extra confluences. We've got the 62% there as well. So just keep an eye on that 173 level. I believe it's going to happen soon. It's the pound cap. Okay, guys, so next up is the NZDUSD. Again, them long-term sell moves, you can now see the monstrous move, how big it's been. This is where you'd eventually be able to hold on to your trade. This is where you're going to see the bigger profits. And I was mentioning a buy around this area, around the 0.7500 level. That's been gone. That's been obliterated by that interest rate decision in the US dollar. So just looking at the overall time frame, looking at a bigger margins now. this isn't something that I want you to watch for this week. I just believe it's going to come a lot lower. So again, I'll be looking at the retests. This will be something that I update in the midweek video, but I'm looking to see a buy from the 67 level here on the NZDUSD. Again, if you can catch something to ride down to there, do so. And a very similar thing on the AUDUSD. I'm just looking at the 73 level. I believe if we're going to get the buy push back up towards here, it's going to come from around there. So again, just keep an eye on them. They're not something that's going to be possibly this week. My main focus for you to catch a trade that will be profitable on this would be to look for a retest and then ride the sell to that area. I don't think it's just going to shoot there. There is going to be some confusion along the way, but try to jump on something like that on the NZDUSD and AUDUSD. Okay, guys, that's all for me this week. It's now, I'm excited to announce that my good friend Joe, who's done the course with me, learned the skill, is going to showcase you what he's looking at this week. And of course, my advice to you is pay attention. It's going to be very powerful.
Hi guys, my name's Joe. I've been working with Capital A now for about 6 months now. Adam's kind of taught me everything he knows about it. I've learned the skill. I'm learning how to now make profit on my portfolio as well. Previously, before that, I was doing cryptocurrency. I've got a lot of investments in my crypto account as well. So I've got quite a love for both of them. But now more recently, I've been getting a lot better at Forex. My portfolio is slowly growing and growing, thanks to Adam. So I just want to get into the pound yen anyway. To start off with, we're in a weekly zone now. We've kind of tapped this area here where the institutions like to play off. So now we've had a little big push down. So it's confirmed to me that this area is valid now for the selling pressure. If I go down to the daily, what I can see now is I've had 2 positions here myself anyway, but what I can see is definitely we're in a bearish momentum now. The interest rate is coming on Thursday. I'm aware of it. So I know there is going to be a push with the pound as well. So I've got kind of 2 areas marked out. I've got this one area here and this area here. If I come down to the 4 hour, this is my first area as there's a big imbalance that needs to be filled here. So potentially you could have a big push from here. Still bearish overall, so I'm going to hold my positions. Just have maybe this an insight. We might have a little push up, but my next target would be down below here. If I just zoom in, around this level here, and that in time could be for the interest rate which comes out on Thursday. Why I believe this is because it's a lonesome black candle before a little imbalance push. The yen could push it right down to that level before the interest rate. That's where we could have a little push up to get the pound some strength again. By that time I would have exited my positions in my sell by then, probably about 200-300 pips worth of, maybe even more. So that's what I'm kind of looking at for the pound yen. So the next pair I wanted to look at was the euro yen. We can see on the weekly time frame this institutional area where the market makers have came in beforehand. They've kind of played off it again. If we go for the last 3 weeks now, they've been pushing down. If I come to the daily now, I'm just looking for entries really where I can jump on the bus, get an entry for the sell as well, as we're going to be in a bearish market, I believe, now for a while. So I'm just looking for an entry. If I go over to the 4 hour, we can see this big push down here. We can't see no lonesome green candles as yet in my area. If I come down to the 2 hour, can't see nothing yet still. I think we'll have a little push early in the week from the euro. And hopefully, as you can see on the hour time frame, this little green candle here before this session open for New York, we might have a push here and continue to push down. That's all I'm looking for euro yen for this week. And that'll be it.
Okay, guys. So that was my good friend Joe. He's someone who joined my course around 6 months ago now. Started to learn the skill, started to pick it up, and he's now starting to see some profits and actually growing his account quite well. So again, guys, if that sounds good to you, if you want to learn trading and take your skills to the next level, send me an email at capitalatrading@hotmail.com with any questions, any queries you have in there. I'll answer that. And of course, we can see how we can progress further from there. A quick shout out to the Absolutely magazine. Thanks for everything. Thank you for all your support. A very cool magazine. It's available now in all Waitrose and M&S stores. Go check that out. Again, guys, have a great trading week, and I'll see you next week.
Bye. Have a great time.